Thank you. Okay, we're back to the callers.
Robert.
Hi, Tolec.
Hey, how you doing? I heard you guys talking, so I thought I'd come in and say hello.
Wonderful. Alex, this is Tolec of the Andromeda Council.
Alex, it's a pleasure. I may represent the Andromeda Council, but guys, I'm slugging it out like everybody else down here.
Sure.
I'm a human with a human life and human foibles and challenges just like everybody else.
You didn't get that card, huh?
Well, no, they when I got here, they didn't give me that card that had $5 million on it, so I could just kind of like go along on my own. I've had to work my whole life.
Hey, but Tolec, you and I have been talking off the air, and I really appreciate your friendship and specifically what you'd said to me about certain Native American groups coming from. Did you? I think it was planets within the Pleiades.
Yes. There's a planet in the Taygeta star system called Dakota, and it's about 2/3 larger than the planet Era, and it has a population of people that, if you will, are the original progenitors, the original descendants of the Native American people here in the U.S., at least those people west of the Mississippi. So you've got the Dakota with a D, Lakota with an L, Nakota, and a whole bunch of others. And of the 5 different people that I speak with, the gentleman who I talk to most concerning issues that are sacred, it's about the best way to say it. Saying they're spiritual would be redundant considering who he is. But he's told me a lot about the planet, and I think the best connection point that I can offer for the listeners, and I think Alex can certainly chime in here at any time, is that the thing that he's told me over and over again is what you guys were talking about earlier, which is each of us take time for ourselves. Wherever you live, go out into nature. Go down to a river, go into the hills, go into the mountains, walk up to a tree, touch it, listen to the wind blow. Whatever you can do to get close to nature, because in those quiet moments, it'll help settle all the noise in your head. Of all the stuff that's going on, all of our responsibilities. Alex, I'd like to chime in with something you said years ago, at least I heard that you said, turn off your televisions. Just as a reference point, I haven't listened or watched commercial news since about 1991 or 92.
Wow.
And it was first contacted in 93. The different news hours, I don't even listen to NPR anymore, and that used to be sort of like a religious thing for me. Whenever I would work and I'd be on the road and I'd be in the car, I'd listen to NPR radio and news stories. Nothing. I just don't listen. So I would tell anybody who's looking for a way to make a change, get away from, get out of what the commercial media machine is producing, and start asking questions that you're serious about.
Tolec, I couldn't agree more. I mean, that's something that's been drilled into me since I was 8 years old from Morné Casillas, was in order to quiet the chatter and especially the stress that I was having in my body, because, as a kid, I couldn't share this with anybody.
Yeah.
It would say, go out to nature, sit down, put your back against a tree, or sit by a creek and just listen, because that's the voice of the Creator.
Yes.
And they do exactly the same thing. I mean, it's amazing how many of the spiritually evolved extraterrestrial races, regardless of how technologically evolved they are, they mimic Native American tendencies, or the Native Americans mimic their tendencies about being quiet and seeing nature as a safe house, a sacred place.
Yes, Kind of a place of solace.
Yes, you know, there's a million ways to say it.
Yeah.
Because it gets them it allows them to quiet their mind and get back in touch with their soul, and it's all about soul, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
It's like to me, guys, it's like the internet without all the nonsense. In other words, you can connect yourself. We're all connected anyway, okay, through these filaments of light, consciousness, and the technology is actually divorcing us. It's pulling us away. It's making a mockery of what really is, of the web of life, okay? And a lot of us have you know, they've tricked us into basically agreeing to this nonsense. So I know it sounds so simple, but it's actually difficult to turn everything off and turn yourself away from the society as we know it and reconnect with the cosmos. But I know from experience that it's extremely profound, and it's a necessity. It's a necessity to most people. It's not part of your daily requirement in this society, but I just recommend people try it. If nothing else, just try it and see what happens.
Absolutely.
Sure, but you know, Bob, every negative technology can be turned to a positive. Like,
True.
You know, there will be a time where we go from the internet to the inner net. Where,
well said.
We all wake up and we're all telepathic.
That's right.
We will have the experience of being connected to everything.
Right.
And, you know, we will have the internet as a place of, wow, this feels just like that. We can identify with. Now we don't need the technology.
Right, and we also don't need all the advertising and the other nonsense.
All capitalism and all that nonsense, right? And that'll all go away.
Yeah, filter all that out.
Yeah.
Right.
So, which is all garbage for the most part.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If I can provide a small story as a reference point. I moved here to the Southwest many years ago, and within the first 3 years of being here, and I've done it ever since, I don't do it I do it more intuitively than anything else. I'm like, okay, it's time for a walk, or I'll get on my mountain bike. This particular time that I'm mentioning, it was a walk, and I went up into the hills in back of the condo unit I was living in. And I had a especially rough day, and I got to the top of the hill. I remember it was early spring. I laid down, and it was kind of dusk. I just kind of cleared off a little spot, laid down the hill. It was about 5:45, and it was so quiet. And I've told this story before, but it was so quiet. I describe it as the hum of nature or the hum of life.
Yep.
I could hear little animals rustling, and I could hear the insects. And so I nodded off, and I woke up about 20 minutes later where it really refreshed, and I look up, and the stars are coming out, and there's a javelina next to me and a little bunny rabbit, and all of this nature and the stars overhead, and I just I felt really blessed to be surrounded by all this nature and all of this beauty, and I thought, God, what a beautiful planet that we live on. Mm-hmm. And even with all of the mess that's going on today, and Robert, as I told you, I'll get up my mountain bike and go for a ride, give you a call, and I'm standing there by a wash, and it's just absolutely beautiful because I can hear horses off in the distance, or I can hear the birds singing.
Right.
And even with the mess of today, again, to stay on theme, this is an incredible planet, and if we want to reconnect with ourselves, nature is the place to be.
Yeah, it's the portal.
Yeah, absolutely.
It sounds like you had a real moment of grace.
I consider myself to be really blessed to have the opportunity. I mean, I made a choice to move out here from the East Coast, and therefore, I took a map of the whole country. I said, all right, a vacation here, been here, traveled there, worked in these umpteen states, and I was left with Colorado and Arizona. My meetings in Colorado didn't pan out. I ended up with a number of offers. Actually, I had like 15 meetings in Arizona and 3 offers, and I took one of them. And I've done some traveling since then, but I love living here. It's a beautiful place.
Sure.
And to follow up on your comment, Alex, I feel blessed. I feel blessed more times than I can even count because this is an incredible place to be. And likewise, whenever I go back to the Northeast to visit, I take walks up there. I'll find a park or go walk by a pond or go walk down to a stream and pay attention to what our Creator has placed right at His feet. And I'll be the first one to tell you, I'm not a religious person. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about the beauty of creation that has been placed here on our planet. So, Alex, short answer, yes. Very much. Very much blessed.
Can you and I talk offline someday?
Absolutely.
I will ask to forward, my contact information.
Sure.
I've been hearing about you, and it would be nice to compare some notes.
I understand I've caused some trouble. I'm out there shaking it up a little bit. To answer your question, absolutely, I'd be happy to. We'll let Bob set it up.
With you shaking it up. I mean, I don't have a problem with that at all. I want to compare some notes, though.
Right.
Yeah, no. I'm sorry. My reference to shaking it up has nothing to do with you. It has to do with some of the. Every once in a while, I'll look at some of the comments that come back on various websites about something that I've said. Well, okay, I've said them because they come out of my mouth, but it's not my information. I'm simply sharing what my contacts on the Andromeda Council and others, the gang, has shared with me. And the comments that I get from people here on Earth on other websites, including YouTube, are sometimes they're wild, sometimes they're off base, sometimes they're insulting. And they're not only insulting, they're hurtful. And I've only doing this for a couple of months. It's a new
join the club.
It's a new experience for me. Believe me, I know. Yeah, Alex got this target on his back. Here, aim.
Bad now.
But absolutely.
One thing you got to know is you can't fix stupid, so you got to let those go.
Yeah.
Push on. Just
absolutely.
Push on. You're gonna catch some crap. Well, I suggest you put a raincoat with you.
It's a
full body armor.
And when that happens, then you're on the right path. You're doing the right thing.
There have been so many moments that I get little teeny pieces of confirmation, and I go, yes.
It
comes from all different places. I can never expect where those little moments of confirmation come from, but I've had repeated ones of those. So I'm okay. I'm emotionally, spiritually, I'm very, very stable.
And I know our friend Don, who's holding on the line patiently. His advice to you through me is don't take it personally. They're not attacking you. They just don't like the light that you're shining. They don't like the message that you're delivering. So, and they can't stop the guys that the originators of that information. They can't reach them. So they're trying to trip you up, and hopefully they'll never put you on the sideline like they've been trying to do to Alex. It's really unfortunate.
As my mom's still around. And at the closing statement, Mom once said to me, this is about 10, 12 years ago, she said, I've never met anybody who can fall down, she was using a metaphor, fall down, scrape his knees, and keep getting back up again over and over and over again. So I'm going to keep going. I'm not stopping.
Good.
I'm going to let you guys go. Alex, it was a pleasure. Look forward to our conversation sometime. And Robert, we'll, of course, connect as often or as little as we do, but I always enjoy our conversations. I'll let you guys go.
Thank you, Tolec.
Thanks a lot. All right, good night.
All right, take care.